What's up, guys? Welcome back to Shoney Small Engines. A friend of mine brought me a PB580T. Complaint, was using it, and now it shut off, and now it's kind of seized here. So I've already saw something that may be the culprit. I don't know until I dig in, but what I found was there is a piece of cable kind of just hanging off the side of the arm here. I'm thinking it's a throttle cable, but the throttle still works. So I don't know where that cable came from. I'm going to take a peek in there. So first I want to do is I want to pull the spark plug and see if it turns over. It's not hydro locked or anything. And then might have to tear down and find out where that cable came from, and maybe something's wrapped around here. We might have to pull this all apart. So let's start with getting that spark plug off, and we'll tear in and see what we find. Plug's pretty white. No change there. But it comes underneath here right to the ground. So I don't think that is our issue, because that just goes over there, unless the other end broke off, but I highly doubt it. So don't think that's the problem. Let's pull in. We'll pull this whole cover off, take a look at like the coil and the pull cord assembly, see if there's anything jammed up in here. We have a whole bunch of T27 Torx. Don't screw up these screws, they're different styles. I'm hoping they didn't run any straight gas in here, because that could seize up the engine. We'll have to pull the exhaust off and look in to see if we see anything. Okay, I'll get that out of the way. Still not budging. Oh, moved a little bit. I mean, coil's on the other side, so it could be, but let's pull the exhaust off. Where we have a couple of 5mm Allens in there. Bolt at the bottom. Try to keep all this stuff together so I don't get confused putting it back together. Now, this is kind of my worst fear right here. We got a burnt piston. You can see how scratched that is. So you can hear how rough that is when I rub across it real bad. So I'm gonna have to call the customer. I'm gonna call my buddy and tell him that most likely was ran straight fuel and it seized up on him, burned it up. Now, you know, these models aren't the cheapest models. Pretty good machines, real good machines, long lasting if you run the right fuel. Can probably get a jug and a piston for this. I'd have to check the bottom end. Doesn't feel like the bearings still feel good, but you know, as soon as it gets up there, it just locks up. It's, you know, it's all scratched up on top. So this is going to need a jug and a top end. I'm going to see what he wants to do. If for any reason he wants to replace it, maybe I'll film that and I'll do a whole breakdown and rebuild of this. And sometimes you can get aftermarket, but I think these Echoes, you almost have to buy this to stock. And I did build one before. I think it ran about between $100 and $130 for the parts. So I'll see how much he wants to put into this. Stay tuned, guys. Might see a rebuild on this, and catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Okay, guys. Talk to the customer. I wanted to find out exactly what it needed. Obviously, we're going to need a piston and rings. I wanted to see what the cylinder looked like. There's a couple little tiny gouges in it. The bottom, kind of like at the bottom of the compression area. And I cleaned it up, honed it up, and I can't guarantee this will work, but you know, another cylinder is about $150, and not necessarily, can't find them aftermarket or anything, not necessarily worth fixing. So he said, if you think it works, we'll just try it. We'll just go ahead with a new piston from Little Red Barn. Pretty good quality piston, 30 bucks. So we're gonna replace that and see if this thing works. I said I can't guarantee how long it'll last, but you know, for the price, we're gonna give it a shot. So what I got to do here, get the rest of this off, and we'll reverse this. The crank feels good, the bearings feel good, just a burnt up piston. So what we got to do is get this clip out, and we're going to see if we can do this without having to take this whole thing apart. I hate to have to take this whole bottom end off, but have to if I can't get the wrist pin out here. All right, I was able to pop the circlip out. I want to see if I can now get the wrist pin out without having to take this engine off, because that would be a big help. Almost. Should have done this earlier, but you want to make sure nothing falls down inside the engine. There we go. All right, here's our old piston. Obviously trash. We're going to reuse these bushings. Put new circlips in there. Check the bearing. Bearing feels good. Okay, we'll open up the new parts. We have our rings, wrist pin, circlips, and our piston. Obviously the exhaust, got to make sure that lines up with the old one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this pin in on the outside first, because I'm going to put the wrist pin in from the inside. Just watch your eyes when you're doing this. I like to keep my finger over top of it so everything stays in place. All right, make sure it's sitting in the right spot. If these come out, they'll gouge your piston. Now we're going to get our rings on. So the rings go with this little lip upward, because they got to sit in the pin like that. I'm going to add a little bit of lube to this. Let's get one ring on. Work it around. I'm going to go right below, work it back. Be very careful with these things because they can break pretty easily. There we go. That's going to line up right there. Grab our next one. Once the first one's on, the second one's a lot easier. Make sure your grooves are lined up. Work that around. There we go. Okay. Those have to be aligned when we put this in, when it slides into the cylinder. And we have these little guys here. So this is sometimes a pain in the butt to line up. Line that guy up. Get started. Now we got to feed in this other bushing. Once that lines up, it should slide through. You can kind of use a magnet to hold it in place, move it around a little bit. There it goes. Okay. Make sure that's seated all the way in. Then we get our other circlip in. Again, careful with your eyes. Get it started, and we'll push it in place, make sure it clips in. There we go. Okay. We got our piston in. It's going to dump a little bit of two-stroke oil down here on the bearings. Just so it's lubricated right when we start up. And then I'm going to get a bunch on the piston as well. Okay, ideally, you're probably going to want to replace the base gasket, but because we're kind of doing this the cheap way, You know, we're trying to keep it as cheap as possible because we don't know if this is going to last. We're just going to reuse the old one, make sure there's no damage in it. If it is damage anywhere, you're going to have to replace it. So we'll put that on. Check our cylinder here. Make sure the exhaust port's clean. Said I sanded this down in this little groove here, and I honed it. It's the best as I'm going to get it without taking off too much material. Lubricate this. Now on the piston, we got to line up our rings with the pins. See how this has like a little bit of a chamfer in the edge? That's to help you squeeze the piston into place. Make sure you got your exhaust in the right direction. Compress the rings. There's one. There goes two. Okay. There we go. It's going to go turn it over a few times nice and slow. Good. Now we'll drop our cylinder bolts down. We'll tighten that by hand. I don't know the torque specs, just use common sense. Make sure the impulse lines line up when you're putting the intake on. All right, next we'll do the exhaust. Tighten those by hand. And there's a bolt underneath. Again, sorry, I took this apart without filming. I was just trying to see what it all needed. So, you know, just reverse this process to take it apart. I'm going to mount the carburetor. All right, let's bring this cover in. One deep down underneath here. And then the long one goes right here. And we'll put the pull starter on and add some gas, see if we can start it. Remember, these screws are a little bit different. These are the machine screws. Put the spark plug in. I got to fix the handle real quick just to make sure I can shut it off if and when it starts. All right, let's give it a shot. There's a lot of compression now. Make sure the switch is on. Put the choke on. Let's prime it a bunch of times. Get some fresh fuel through there. See what happens. going to let that idle for a while. That sounds really good. And then once it warms up, I'm going to take it out and do some blow and see if it keeps running and how it sounds, and if we have to adjust anything. All right, sounds really good. Like I said, I can't guarantee this fix because that cylinder has some light scratches in it. I think it's going to be okay, at least for a while anyway. Got to make sure you put the right fuel in these machines. After talking to the guy, I found out that his son had used it and thinks he just grabbed any old gas can, filled it up, and after 15 minutes, it just shut off. So you make sure you're mixing your oil, make sure you're using a good oil. Try to run non-ethanol if you can. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, and then I'll send it on its way. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. You can check out some of my other content there and there. You can check out my channel there, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.